Welcome to Sterling Report. I'm Dan Rizek. Have you noticed there's a lot of opinions being expressed lately? Well, Sterling Heights residents will have a chance to voice their opinions this November, and not just in an election you may have heard about. Randomly selected Sterling Heights homeowners will soon receive a 2012 residential survey in their mailboxes and via email asking them to express their thoughts regarding a host of city services. The survey, administered through the city's Community Relations Department, is being sent out this week to a cross-section of residents to gain statistically significant responses that the city can use to prioritize services, gauge satisfaction levels, and formulate future policy. City Manager Mark Vanderpool explains why the city is conducting the thorough survey.
We do the surveys every 4 or 5 years. In this case, the last one actually was 2005. The one before that was 1999. So it's one way to check in with our customers periodically and just evaluate how we're doing with the services we provide. We ask residents to grade us on our services, everything from police protection to fire protection, library services, parks and recreation programming, maintenance of our parks and snow plowing, refuse collection, and so on and so forth. So it's one way, it's a report card, if you will, and every so often we do this. And then we also use the prior surveys as a baseline to compare new results to the older results to see in some areas where we've improved and other areas where we need to continue to work on improvement.
Questions on the 4-page document cover a wide range of topics, from importance of various city departmental programs and services to overall quality of life questions to gauge residents' feelings about Sterling Heights as a place to live, work, and play. Even though Sterling Heights residents have many ways of communicating with their local government, be it by letter, email, phone calls, or speaking at public hearings, City Manager Mark Vanderpool explains that a survey shows the overall viewpoint of the entire community.
Well, one of the reasons a survey is so important, other than the other forms of open government that we have and the other processes that residents or businesses can use to weigh in on any given particular issue, a survey is statistically valid. In other words, the individuals who participate in the survey are randomly chosen, and therefore they represent a cross-section of the entire city and are representative of the entire city. Whereas through the other means of feedback, whether it be a public hearing at a budget process or whether it be some other form of public hearing on a zoning matter, in those particular cases, they're not necessarily representative of the entire community. You have specific groups that may be impacted in those cases. And therefore, you could say that the feedback may be skewed in some ways. That doesn't diminish the importance of the feedback, but a survey is so much different in that it is statistically valid. The margin of error is 5%. The confidence level is 95%. So that means we can be 95% certain at plus or minus 5% error margin that the results we get represent the entire community. And that's what's really important.
A final report containing survey results is expected early in 2013 with an executive summary and will be used as a future planning guide by city administration and city council.
Well, what we do, once we get the results from the survey company, we then share those with city council, typically at a strategic planning process. And we go over all the results very thoroughly. We have a good presentation. And we certainly highlight the areas where we've improved, and we also note the areas where we got to continue to make some progress. And that helps the City Council set forth goals and objectives, not only for the next fiscal year, but for the next 3, 4, 5 years. In some cases, we know that the community feels very strongly about infrastructure improvements, specifically roads. And so based on some of their feedback, we may develop a more aggressive roads program over the next 4, 5, 10 years long term. So the data that we get from the survey, it isn't just short term, it's midterm, it's long term until we get to the next survey. So It's really an interesting process to go through. Really, it's an important process that any company should go through, whether you're a private company or a public company. And in fact, my guess is 95% plus of great companies go through this process all the time to check in with their customers to see how they're doing and where they can improve.
Residents who do not receive a survey via direct mail or email and wish to participate in the survey can complete a survey after November 7th by logging on to sterling-heights.net. Printed copies of the survey are also available in the Community Relations Department after November 7th. To have one mailed to your home, please call Community Relations at 586-446-2470. Sterling Heights has been named one of Michigan's best in encouraging business growth. The city of Sterling Heights has been identified as one of 8 top-performing communities in the state of Michigan at fostering entrepreneurial growth and economic development in a study by researchers at iLab's University of Michigan Dearborn's Center for Innovation Research. Sterling Heights was also recognized as a 4-star community, marking the 4th straight year that the city has been recognized for developing a positive entrepreneurial climate. Sterling Heights was honored at a ceremony held at U of M Dearborn, which included a video profile of the city's partnership with the Macomb OU Incubator. Sterling Heights Economic Development Manager Casey Green accepted the award on the city's behalf and states that Sterling Heights' reputation for being business-friendly, offering high-quality services, and being open to incentives plays a very strategic role in attracting new investment, welcoming new businesses, and inviting the redevelopment and expansion of Sterling Heights companies.
Well, we're really excited that with over 100 communities participating in the E-Cities project through U of M's iLab program this year, that Sterling Heights was one of only 8 recognized as a top-performing community. And I think it's great recognition of all that we're doing in Sterling Heights to be supportive of our business community and really create an environment that helps businesses grow and thrive and fosters innovation and entrepreneurship. Because as businesses grow, it really makes Sterling Heights a more vibrant community for everyone. So it's really a great honor to be recognized as a top-performing community this year again.
The E-Cities research surveyed 114 communities from 40 counties throughout Michigan. Over 100 volunteers cleaned up at 12 homes during Sterling Heights' Fall Community Pride and Shine Day. The property cleanup was organized by the city's Neighborhood Services Department and is one of the elements of the Sterling Heights Initiative for Neighborhood Excellence, otherwise known as SHINE. The Community Pride and Shine Days are held throughout the year with the intention of encouraging residents to make their properties visually appealing. The program is aimed at protecting property values by encouraging all residents to maintain the exterior of their homes. The SHINE initiative works with civic and church groups to provide volunteers for those residents who need help with property maintenance because of age, physical disabilities, or financial hardship. The most recent Pride and Shine Day event enlisted the help from a group of volunteers from area religious organizations, school groups, and Home Depot. Clifford Cochet of Heritage Church believes volunteering is simply just part of their faith.
And I can probably speak for most of them. They're on this journey of faith and showing their faith by working with and helping and serving. So I think it's that servant's heart. People are trying, I think they're just on their own path, and they're just learning how can they help people and show people their faith in Jesus Christ. So I think that's what really people are doing here today and helping out from Heritage Church.
Even younger members of the church gave up their Saturday to lend a hand.
It just helps them grow and understand. They might not get it right now, but I think down the road they'll look back and be like, okay, I see how it works, and it helps help somebody in your neighborhood, your community, to kind of give them hope and encouragement that hey, things are okay. We're gonna help you out today, and just hope we give you encouragement, and the young kids, I think, like I said, when they get older, they'll look back and say, okay, I see why I was doing that.
Other young Shine Day participants included 12 members of the Utica Academy for International Studies Key Club.
As a Key Club, we really like to create student leaders, and we feel that a good way to do that is to come out and help the community. And we love our community and our school, so we wanted to come out and help the less fortunate than the elderly who can't clean their lawns so that they can have a beautiful lawn too. We're all close friends. Key Club builds great friendships and stuff that'll last a lifetime. So it's not really like volunteering or work for us. It's more like hanging out with friends and doing something good too.
The volunteers work together to help residents with such chores as raking and trimming hedges. Sterling Heights resident Kathy Kovac was one of the targeted properties that was spruced up by the Shine program, and she truly appreciated the help with her home.
It's wonderful. It brings tears to my eyes that everybody cares so much to come and help people like me who can't. I couldn't maintain it. And, you know, I'm alone. I live alone. I have 2 dogs. You can probably hear them barking. And it's just nice that people care enough to come and, wow, in just a few hours they did what I could. I've been trying to maintain it over the fall, over the summer, but I could never do as much as they do with this many people. I don't know how many, 10, 15 people, kids. I'm amazed. Even one little 8-year-old girl, you know, little boys, it's so nice. It's wonderful that they make my yard. My neighborhood's going to love it too now.
If you or someone you know needs assistance from the Shine program, please call 446-CITY. Sterling Heights resident Cheryl Burns has been selected as November's Artist of the Month. Burns travels around the state capturing images of common locations that she sees differently than others.
I take a shot and I'm like, wow, nobody would catch that shot. And it becomes really special to me, and then it kind of has a story behind it, which is what I've included with a lot of my artwork that's on display. So people understand where I was coming from when I take the shot.
Burns is a self-taught photographer who finds that the medium comes natural to her.
Finally got a nice digital camera a couple years back. So it hasn't been a long time, but it's just been a creative passion of mine where I just feel like I have the eye for it, and I just want to capture whatever I can and tell the story.
Although Burns shoots throughout the country, the Thumb area of Michigan is her favorite location.
Well, the Thumb is one of the places I visit most frequently because our family has a home in Harbor Beach right on Lake Huron. So I often go there to escape on weekends just to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city. And so I'll spend like hours and like hundreds of miles just driving around the Thumb, taking pictures of farmscapes and barns, busted down barns specifically. Those are the ones that I really like, and you know, try to get on the grounds as much as possible without trespassing. And yeah, just whatever has the most character. And even, you know, I'll take pictures of cows or horses that are around at organic farms. And it's just something that's close and dear to my heart since we've been going up there since about 1980.
Burns draws upon her environmental interest for her inspiration.
It's just my love of nature, really, that has made me want to capture it. I mean, I have done other photography, like senior pictures, and I've done a wedding, but specifically I focus on the landscapes and whatever Mother Nature has to offer us. So because of my love for nature and being the tree hugger I am, that's kind of what made me get really into photography and making that my subject.
Samples of Burns's work will be on display at the Sterling Heights City Hall and at the Public Library throughout the month of November. And that's going to wrap up this edition of Sterling Report. Until next time, take care.